Welcome back to yet another Thursday. Here we are again. Thank you again for joining me. What's new? What's going on? What's up with everyone? I had a super fun weekend with my parents coming into town. The Cincinnati Reds game, that was amazing. I loved getting to see that new stadium. That was pretty cool. Taste of Cincinnati was wild. I was not expecting that at all. I thought it was just going to be like a little, almost like street fair type thing with different businesses. No, this was a whole ass event, like thousands of people, hundreds of vendors. They had something called like Food Truck Alley or something near the end after all the other vendors. And that alone was like 30 food trucks to try. I wish I had $5,000 and like five or six stomachs to try everything that was there. I couldn't, but the things I did try were absolutely amazing. And I want to go to some of those places at like their actual locations. I loved getting to do that. That was so good. That was every weekend I'd be like 700 pounds. Actually, I don't know. There's a lot of walking involved. Maybe I just walked off everything I ate, but that was super good. If you are watching on YouTube right now, speaking of exciting news, take a good long last look at this hair. Saturday's my hair appointment that I talked about last episode, and I can't wait. I can't wait. One day, low key though, you guys, I am gonna dye my hair a crazy color. I tried pink during COVID. I don't think it turned out pink. I also tried like what came out to be like a purple blue one time. That also might have been during COVID or after. I don't remember. But I want like a crazy color, like professionally styled, done crazy color one day. And it'll happen. I know it will because I'm me. But I am excited to get this re-highlighted, restyled, whatever the fuck needs to be done. So take this, pointing to my roots, going, going, gone. Can't wait for that. Um, this week also, you guys, my work brings in once a month a massage therapist. You can get like a 20-minute massage done. And the past couple times, it's just like booked up too fast. Like I haven't gotten to do it. But this week I did. I think that shit changed my life. I'm not even kidding you guys. After 20 minutes, I got up from that seat and I was like, yeah, life might be worth living, actually. If I could afford like to get an hour massage done once a week somewhere, I think it literally would change some things for me. Not even kidding. The knots she got out, I swear, were like stress leaving my body as she was doing that. That was incredible. Like, whoa, you're looking little tense. I was like, oh yeah, just a stressful day. Haha. No, stressful life. I spend every second of my life stressed out, but that was, oh my God. It also, if they had that at work every day, I think that should be mandatory for our job specifically. That needs to happen. But I'm gonna fight for a spot every time she comes now because at first it was just like, oh, it already booked up. Damn, wasn't quick enough. No, I'm gonna be on that shit now. I need that done all the time. I love that. To start this, oh, one more thing I did want to mention. I just found on my Instagram account hidden messages. I didn't know my Instagram was set up to I had to approve messages and it would like a whole separate area that I just was not even paying attention to. And there was a lot of stuff going on in there. So I apologize if you tried to reach out to me like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, as some of the messages were, and I just never responded. I made sure to go through them all now, connected with those people, talked with those people. So I guess I either need to change my setting or check that every day, but I don't even know how that's a setting. So again, I apologize if you messaged me for something because there were some Sorry Mom confessions. And that's the first part of this episode is I just want to go through a couple more. I had a couple late, well, not late, late because of me, submissions that I wanted to read. So here are some more Sorry Mom confessions. Again, please send these to me anytime. I would love to start every episode off with a confession. I love getting them. All right, first one. Sorry, Mom, for smoking weed with my 14-year-old sister. Honestly, like a good older sister. Mm-hmm. Safe environment. I'd rather be with you than some crazy person on the street, honestly. Sorry, Mom, for having 5 friends over to do acid at your house when you were out of town and reading your food magazines in your bed while we were tripping. Iconic. Love it. All right, this one, again, one of the Instagram messages that were sent that I missed that I want to read kind of like the full story for. I was 18 and had always lived a very sheltered life, so I ended up going wild. Agreed. That's me to a T. When you're let loose from those those parents that tend to be a little bit more strict, you know, sometimes going crazy happens. I joined a sorority and met some really good friends and started smoking marijuana and drinking. Happens. Our friends set me up with the big brother of our group. We hit it off and started dating secretly. April of 2022, we found out that we were pregnant 6 months into our relationship and we were mortified, as I think a lot of us would be. That's 6 months in is some shocking news to receive a pregnancy. I know I would be scared. I would very well be mortified. Same thing. We didn't tell our parents at all, kept it quiet. Our friends knew, but nobody else. My mom found out at 9 weeks pregnant. I was broke, had to use my insurance, and I swear I thought her head was going to explode. She called me at 9 a.m. on my little sister's 8th or 9th birthday, bawling her eyes out, saying, "You're pregnant," which low key, my parents would be doing the same thing too. My mom would have some few choice words for me as well. So my pregnancy was kept silent for 9 weeks, but now my mom loves my child and so do my siblings. I also just called her again. I'm 21, almost 22, and called her on March 3rd, telling her I was pregnant. Here I am, almost 12, 13 weeks pregnant with baby number 2 with the same guy that I had as baby number 1. Sorry, Mom. I also love that you put that at the end. That's my favorite part because they are the Sorry Mom confessions. So putting at the end, I loved. Also happy that everything worked out. I think parents go through that initial stage of shock at first for anything their kids do or say, and then they end up getting over it and being like, okay, well, this actually wasn't the end of the world. And to have another child with him, congratulations. I know I messaged you this as well to this individual, but congratulations again on your second baby. I hope it's beautiful and happy and healthy when it comes into the world. And it's it's just funny how things work out like that, I guess. At first 6 months into the relationship, super scared, super like, oh my God, what the looking at that pregnancy test, probably nervous as hell, scared as hell. And now look, almost 3 years later, and you guys are on your second child. So I love that for you guys. All right. Obviously the main part of this episode are the questions that were submitted. Honestly, I gotta say, opening up that door, I expected some crazy questions, and you guys kept it pretty PG/PG-13, which I can't say too much of because I am appreciative of that. Knowing how I've mentioned before, being full time employed right now, I have to keep some things coded some things will come out in future terms. So you made it easy to answer some of these questions, which I'm thankful for. But I am going to keep that link up forever, and any and everyone at any time is welcome to send in a question, and as they get sent in, I'll just answer them on that week's episode, because it is a lot of fun to get to see what you guys are asking. All right. So first one, espresso martini or Captain and Coke? Oh, my fixation right now wants to say espresso martini because that's all I want to go out and order right now, because I am obsessed with them at the moment. But I have to stick with my favorite drink being like my classic Captain and Coke. I will get that anywhere. Easy order, easy drink, does the trick. I love my Captain and Coke. Years ago, well, I can't. No, I actually can't say that, because I think I have been using Captain Coke as my drink of choice for a while now. But it always was vodka, vodka Sprite, vodka soda, vodka cran, whatever. It always was vodka. I don't know if college ruined vodka for me. I don't know if I overindulged in the clear liquor, but I just can't drink vodka at all. Like a vodka soda would probably take me out, honestly. So I'm here for my Captain of Morgan always. Hasn't done me wrong yet, but it's because I think I drink it a little better than how I was drinking vodka in college. Who knows? Banana pudding or s'mores. My two devil desserts, because I swear to God, if I'm at a bonfire, I could bare minimum have like 10 s'mores, and I'm not even being dramatic. I literally could. I have to say s'mores in this instance, because banana pudding, as much as I could eat a bucket of it, fucks my stomach up, and therefore I can't eat a bucket of it in even little amounts. Even even little amounts do me wrong, but it just tastes so good. But s'mores for sure in the dessert aspect, 100%. What's one of your or some of your favorite memories from Kalamazoo? Oh my god. I I could list so many. I think I'm going to answer this one kind of like um group events together that I loved about Kalamazoo. One of which being any night my friends and I snuck into an apartment complex hot tub. I'm 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, sitting in that hot tub with our drinks, little speaker playing because we didn't want to get in trouble. You weren't supposed to be in there. Our drinks, our vibes, whatever we were doing to vibe, and just having like some either really funny, really crazy, or really deep talks in those hot tubs. I loved when summer came and the pools and the hot tubs were open. Pool parties are a whole nother favorite part that I loved about Kalamazoo, because that's one thing about everyone living in apartment complex is there was always a pool party somewhere going on. So definitely any late night hot tub slash pool party situation was always one of my favorite parts of Kalamazoo. Um, House crawl for sure. House crawl is always going to stick out in my mind as one of my favorite times. That was just like such such unity in Kalamazoo going on for house crawl. People helping people in the streets, people helping people up on the roof, down from the roof, pouring drinks. The streets were packed, like shoulder to shoulder packed from. And it's funny because it wasn't even a house crawl. You didn't really go from house to house necessarily. I guess at some points you did, but it was more just like a giant street party. Same thing kind of like with St. Patrick's Day. Any sort of big event like that was fun too. Any tailgates? Tailgates were some of my most favorite moments too, as well as just the football games in general, especially, okay, let me take that back. Tailgates in games during freshman year. Yes, tailgates and games were always fun, but freshman year when Western went undefeated, it was Western's not necessarily a football program meant to go undefeated. We were ranked that year. I don't even know the last time Western as a university was ranked, but undefeated that year, the vibes were immaculate at every football game. People were going insane. The student section was insane. Every tailgate was crazy. When we went to the MAC championship in Detroit, my friends and I all went, and getting to see that game was just such a unique experience for a university that, football's not your top. Like, that experience is not going to happen again probably for a long time for Western. And that was cool to be a part of. PJ Fleck leaving us, going to Minnesota, our Western Michigan coach. You always and forever will be on my shit list. You bitch. You left us high and dry. So I'm always rooting for Minnesota's downfall. Not a Minnesota fan. What else? What other moment? I just this makes me laugh thinking about all the crazy and chaotic memories, because honestly I have like an outline of how some of the nights went, but it's hard to put into like a specific memory of words. Oh, one more I will say in a more specific way that sticks out. We had a Halloween party. I think it was junior year, because it was my first year at the campus court apartments, and it got I don't remember quite how it got out of control as it did. Um I do know in part because I was standing outside telling anyone who passed to to come in and party. I don't remember. There was like this Twitter page called WMU Social, and everyone posted parties and things like that. I don't remember if I ended up putting it on there, but I was advocating in the courtyard for people to come in and party. And we filled that bottom level of that apartment. We had the pong table set up, we had the speakers blaring, shots were being poured, shit was going on all over the place. I found two people fucking in my bathroom. We each had our own bathroom. It was an apartment where it was four of us girls, each had our own area. And I went to use the bathroom, and turns out two people were already occupying it. And I remember being so disgusted. This was like our first time throwing a party on that scale, and I was like, "Y- first of all, me keeping that bathroom spick and span tidy was already a struggle, so God bless you two who took on that venture in that bathroom. That's all I'll say about that." But I remember at one point, a cop came. Cops were there a few times throughout my Western experience, knocked on the door, and they were like, "Hey, you're only supposed to have like 10 people in here at a time, and I can see right now that it's about 50." And she's like, "You got to get some people out or I'm shutting this party down." And I remember telling one of my friends, like, "Damn, the cops are on us. We got to get some of these people to leave." She stood up on one of our bar stools, literally yelled out to the whole party, and she was like, "All right, if I don't know you, get the fuck out of this apartment." And she starts pointing to people, and she's like, "I don't know you. I don't know you. I sure as shit don't know you." She was just basically helping us clear out some people. We needed half the amount to go, and watching everyone kind of awkwardly leave in their costumes, but that memory always makes me laugh thinking about her standing up. "I don't know you. I don't know you. I sure as shit don't know you." And these people are just like getting pointed at, walking out the door. Honestly, I don't know how many people ended up leaving. I think the cops just left us alone because it was still pretty bumping throughout the night. And also, the whole apartment flooded that night. I forgot about that. Something went wrong in one of the upstairs bathrooms, and through our kitchen light downstairs, water was like coming through the lamp. And that's when the party kind of got shut down because we all low key started panicking because the floors were like flooded. Man, that was a typical night basically for us. Probably wasn't even one of the craziest. All right. Next question. Mini beer shot, Fruit Loops, Cinnamon Toast Crunch shot. Then they put, I can't remember which one, but I think it's the Fruit Loops. So in terms of the three, mini beer shot, Fruit Loop shot, or Cinnamon Toast Crunch shot, I'm like a fruity person when I drink. I have to have, you know, the crazy drinks going on. But I would say a mini beer shot is probably my favorite to take because it's, sorry, it's a little too easy to take. It's that cream that they put on the top. You don't taste a damn thing else. I'm so happy I got showed mini beer shots actually at my radio station job from one of my good friends who worked there. Good thing I did not know about that in college because you're taking shots in college, you got to suffer through them like, ew, this is gross, like a green tea or lemon drop that are semi enemies of mine. But if I knew about mini beer shots in college, I don't know. Shit might have been more dangerous. Okay. What's an experience you are grateful to have but would never do again? Oh, geez. Um, Grateful to have but would never do again. Go to college. Go to college. Grateful to have that experience. Had a shit ton of fun, but I'd never go to fucking college again. That's for damn sure. My time is stamped and done. Also, any substance. Okay. Moving on to the next question. How many espresso martinis do you think you could put down before you pass out or explode from caffeine? So when we did the tour, that was 6 total. I got to admit, near the end there, um, was getting a little. Okay, let me put it this way. I was drunk after number 6, not anywhere near my limit, but in terms of caffeine, I think I really think I could have 9. It might be a shit morning, and I didn't go to bed till 4:30 in the morning the day we did that. So if I had 9, maybe I'd be up for a full 48 hours. But in terms of being able to do it, I think I could do 9 for sure, actually. I'm claiming that. I could probably do more, but safety reasons, I would say 9. Did anyone in your life not support your podcast when you started doing it? No. Not to my, like, when I announced I was doing this, it was all good good vibes. Again, not counting that parents and family don't know. In terms of friends and everyone else who I told, I didn't have anyone tell me directly, that's a really bad idea. I don't think you should do it. I'm not supporting it. I didn't have anyone directly say that. However, I will say I don't know what's said about me in a room I'm not in. I don't know what's said about me in group chats that I'm not in. I don't know if people secretly think this is a horrible fucking idea and that I'm absolutely insane and that I'm terrible at podcasting. Very well could be. But as far as I know, as far as I believe, and as far as I trust, there wasn't anyone who doesn't support me just doing this for fun. Going off of that, when do you plan on telling your mom about the podcast? Mm, Never. I I will not be telling my parents or family about this podcast until something happens that makes it like I'm heading towards the direction of a successful podcast. Is when I plan on telling them. Will they find out through social media or through snitches or through anyone else before then? I don't know. I can't control that. I will say, however, if my parents do find out before I tell them, or even when I tell them, I will let them know that I don't want them listening to some of the episodes. I don't think, especially the prologue, I don't think I'm ready for my parents to know kind of my true thoughts and feelings about what happened with a lot of things. So I would respectfully ask them when they do find out that they listen to only the episodes I allow them to. I also, honestly, though, you guys, my parents, as you saw when I did the Sorry Mom confession and I called my mom and she basically was like, I don't want to hear this shit. I do think when this podcast comes out to them, I don't even know if they would want to listen to some of the episodes because the less they know, the better in their minds, honestly. So I might be safe there. You reference your best friend a lot on this podcast. Where would you be without her? Jail, prison, even worse? Honestly, yeah. And when I use the term good friend, because I don't want to out anyone that doesn't want their name spoken on my podcast because I know I go over some crazy stuff, but there's a few that fall into the category of very good friend. And without that support system in my life, it very well could be dead, jail, prison, or worse. In terms of mental health, my friends um, keep me on track with, they always say like have something to look forward to, and I know I could talk to my friends about anything mental health related, and I know they would help me through that. I get so excited hanging out with them or doing things with them that they're such a positive influence on my mental health. So I think I would be severely struggling a lot worse if I didn't have them. In terms of jail, especially in college, absolutely. I'm sure there were more than one moments when one of my friends had to stop me from doing something that could have severely gotten me in trouble. Um, and they're also like my little advice advocates as well when I'm struggling with something or dealing with something that I need advice on, whatever the situation, they help me through that. So I I definitely jail, prison, or worse without any of their without them, I should say. Period. Favorite bar in Cincy. Um I would have to say that there's two because of the vibes. If if I'm looking for like a crazy, fun, energetic night out experience, Bloom by far has been the most fun that I've been to. That night was just amazing. It was incredible. And am very well aware that I've only had a couple weekends out in Cincinnati to experience some of these bars. So hopefully there's more that make maybe there I don't think there'll be one better than Bloom actually. But my other bar I would say is Rosedale for like a just really cool overall night out experience. This bar has like an outdoor indoor area, outdoor bars. In the outdoor area there's like cornhole, different things to do, and it was just like a nice vibe going out to that one. So I would say so far those two are at the top of my list. Your biggest mental health struggle. Mm, I would say it is a toss up day to day between anxiety and depression. Although I will say over probably the course of the last year, anxiety might take the cake, and I probably would have some less depressive episodes if my anxiety would chill the fuck out and every day make me think that everything is wrong and horrible and I'm doing life wrong and I'm failing and I'm stuck and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and every night falling asleep being anxious that someone is breaking into the house and or the apartment, excuse me, or that something bad's going to happen overnight, and being in constant fear for the state of the world and our country and being nervous for everyone and everything. Every second of every day, my brain is on a nonstop loop of every possible thing that could be going wrong and might go wrong and has gone wrong and will go wrong again. And even on medication, without medication and without therapy, shit would probably be 100 times worse. But that is just something I continue to have to work through. I go through waves where I might have a month where I have very minimal anxiety and I'm feeling a little manic and on top of the world, and then I go through a stretch of 4 months where I can't go a single second without being terrified something's happening. And yes, depression does suck and is debilitating sometimes, but like I said, anxiety does, I think, take the cake for the biggest mental health struggle that I face personally. Anxiety is a fucking bitch. And it's, I don't know, working with my therapist too on ways to like combat that, but it's such an inward battle, honestly. Um, if you could be any animal, what would you be? And what would and what sound would I make? If I could be any animal, I don't know, I think I'd want to be a sea creature. Some sort of like dolphin or sea turtle and just kind of like swim my ass around, migrate my ass around. But somewhere like deep in the ocean where I'm not threatened by fishermen or getting my head caught in a net or getting poached, like send me far away from people if I'm going to be an animal, honestly. I don't know what sound a sea turtle makes though, so I unfortunately can't do that for you. Top 3 favorite artists or bands. This is always a tough question for me because I am such a fixation person that you could ask me this question once a month and it'll change. So, some consistent artists that I listen to always, top, ugh, I have to put Taylor Swift up there, for sure. That and getting to see her on the Eras tour is still going to be about one of my top moments of life always. Um, I'll do okay, so a while ago, Ariana Grande was always a top pick for me. I've gotten to see her on 3 of her world tours. I used to watch her YouTube videos before she even like blew up to as big as she did for that little frame, after like Nickelodeon or like first album came out. So I was always a huge fan of her. I will admit, unfortunately, I have slipped away from kind of keeping up with her and her music, but I've always loved her as an artist. I'm trying to think of like, in terms of a band, like who else do I listen to? Because right now, again, speaking in terms of fixation, Chapel Roan is huge especially when her big blow up phase that happened. I could listen to her on repeat every single day. I just became obsessed with this band Valley. Love them. Eh, Good recommendation, Homebody. Great song by them. Love them. Always been a Selena Gomez fan. Another recent fixation is Gracie Abrams, just because like her big blow up. Obviously Sabrina Carpenter, but like um, Conan Gray. Love Conan Gray. I'm always gonna be a Travis Scott fan. I know can be controversial with some of the things that happened to him, but I will. In terms of music, I love Travis Scott's music. And I wish I would have prepared for that question, honestly, a little bit more because I probably could have picked a better 3 than just scrolling through right now. The Weekend. I love The Weekend so much. The Weekend is like one of the very last ones of my like top artists that I've yet to see in concert. So Taylor Swift crossed off a huge box for me seeing her recently. The Weekend is my next victim. I need to see him in concert really, really bad. Okay, those were the questions for today. Thank you to those of you who submitted the questions. Again, I'm keeping that linked up on my link tree on Instagram. Ask away at any time. I would love to answer a couple every episode or every now and again as you think of stuff. So that will be that will be up. What do we got going on this weekend, you guys? What is the plan? What is the move? What is everyone doing? Another exciting thing is I did get the Bonnaroo mini microphones because I'm probably going to be a menace at Bonnaroo getting crazy videos and asking for crazy interviews. I already have a couple plans on how that's going to go. But in terms of this weekend, I'm hoping for some good weather. I really want to lay out by the apartment complex pool. Actually, funny I bring that up after just saying one of my favorite Kalamazoo moments. I will do it respectfully now. I will follow pool guidelines, but hoping for some good weather. Maybe I'll go to a driving range. Maybe I'll go thrift store shopping. I don't know. I don't know, but one thing I do know is I don't have to work this weekend because of that new role that I'm in at work, which is super exciting because this would have been my weekend to work. I worked every other, and seeing my name off the Saturday schedule made me want to do a backflip in the office. So after I get my hair done, maybe I'll be going out and about. Who knows? But I hope you have a fun weekend. I hope you do some exciting things, something new, do something crazy. And if you do something crazy or you go out and do something crazy, as always, just get home safely. I'm excited to see you guys next week. As always, same time, same place. Thank you for watching and or listening. Be sure to follow on Instagram, TikTok, subscribe to YouTube, Spotify. Whatever you do for any of those is much appreciated. Love you all.